So what's next? How are we gonna win this game?
See that? Okay, this is my problem. My last like literally 100 reviews I've done with myself. I
Uh-huh.
look at the lane to make sure I'm playing lane well, but then
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to figure out what's next. That's my problem.
All right. Tell me what you see, man.
I mean, their Kali is actually still like even with me
Yep.
because she has 4 kills. Top is doing really bad. Bot is doing okay, and jungle is doing okay. So, I mean, I think the way I would win this game is I would try to side against Akali and then beat her and then push her in and then go rotate tell my mid jungle
Mm-hmm.
or my ADC in jungle.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking is how I'd win.
Yeah, I agree. I think in side lane we're never gonna get that much of a lead that we can actually win through side. I
Yeah,
don't think that's a possibility this game.
yeah,
Also, what we see is that hard engage, pick,
yeah. It's really important
engage,
to group. Yeah,
squishy. So it's going to be quite an explosive game,
yeah,
especially once these outer tier turrets fall. So what is really important that we are going to do right now is we need to play the side lane towards mid lane, pixel perfect to actually use our tempo to make sure that we can make plays and
yeah,
create man advantages.
yeah.
All right, so I really like that we had bot. What do we want to do?
I mean, push and then move mid, right? That's just my mindset this game.
Okay, what are we pushing for? What are we moving mid for?
Okay, so push so that way she's stuck under turret catching the wave, or she has to give up a wave,
Okay,
and then move mid to prevent my team from dying or creating pressure. So like maybe we could hit the mid tower or set vision for dragon, maybe invade their blue side,
okay.
something like that.
Um, when do we want to move?
Uh, see that see that's the thing. I don't know when I would want to move. It's only after I push. I just default like push and
Mm-hmm.
then move every time. But I don't really have specific times in the game that I would want to do that. It's just like my default thing is just okay. The waves meet.
Mm-hmm.
Since Akali's respecting me, I'm just gonna push it. She's stuck on her turret. I'm gonna move now.
Okay, so we create these half tempo plays again.
Yeah. So this
Okay.
is where I want to slow build again, right? Just leave the wave and then
Not necessarily, right? If we want to get vision right now, we can
yeah.
do that by hard
Right.
pushing and then moving with our team, and then coming back
Hmm.
to do it again. In that case, we go for PvP, prio,
Right.
vision, prio, which is also fine. This is an option that we can do. We can also
Hmm.
play for a slow build, and then we
Hmm.
play for vision a bit later. It depends on the situation of the game. And our job is to actually read in these kind of scenarios how do we want to do it.
Right.
And that's hard.
Yeah. So that's what I struggle with too. It's like I don't my mid game and later on is just so sloppy now because
Hmm.
I didn't need to be that good at like Grandmaster tier. I was just like my intuition was good enough. But now when I've like playing these games,
Yes,
it's like really struggling. But my lane isn't struggling anymore. It's the after the lane now.
and it makes complete sense because
Yeah.
you're boxing up against guys who get coaching like 4 hours a day, talking only about team movement and mid game stuff.
Right.
So, like, how you gonna beat those guys when they have literal teams working with them
Yeah.
together, making sure that
Yeah.
they understand the team movements and mid game, right?
Yeah.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a different ball game. So in this case, few factors that we can look at, right? We got the Talia on the top side right here.
Yeah.
So when I see Talia on top here, I know she's gonna clear down. I
Mm,
know my
okay.
top laner also does not have priority right now. He's in a bad spot. So we could hard shove right now, but the only thing that's gonna make that do is us grouping with Rakan Kaisa. Is that
Just
strong
sitting.
enough?
Yeah.
Not really.
Uh. Yeah. It's not. But it also thwarts Vi from going in on my bot. That's the only thing it does, right?
That's correct. That's correct. So what I think the play is right now is that we actually do slow build this one. We
Mm-hmm.
wait for Talia to enter bot side and we play with that
Mm.
tempo to take control right here.
But
Is
I
that
need
what
to.
format?
I should be keeping better track of my jungler so I could sync up with him to actually do something.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Jungle plus sub.
Yeah.
These two need to work together and we gotta facilitate them being able to work.
Mm-hmm.
You lucky motherfucker. Look at these scripts, man. Love it. Did she? She didn't ult, did she?
No.
Crazy damage. Big play, man. Bottom. That's so big. That's game winning, actually.
Yeah.
That's game winning. And we get this dragon now. Alright, so how do we win the game?
I honestly have no idea.
It seems like Dragon Soul is gonna be a Wincom.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just so hard because like Gragas is really struggling against Fiora, so I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
have to some point match Fiora, I
Uh-huh.
think, or we're gonna lose the game. But then she has TP and I have Ignite.
That's fine. That's not a problem at all.
Okay.
If we play the waves correct, that is.
Hmm. I
Like,
think that's this is I'm starting to see what my problem is.
right. Because if we slow build a wave into Fiora, what's she gonna do against us?
Yeah.
Right, if we have two wave stacks, she cannot engage onto us, and we just have full control.
Right.
But of course, it's way harder. It's way harder. That for
Hmm.
sure. Especially right now. We might need even to ask Talia to hover. Let's actually break this situation down. What's happening here?
So Gragas died, and then they're gonna trade top because we're on Dragon.
Okay, that's good. Did we take a look at bot wave here? What's happening to bot wave? Okay, good play by our bot lane. It's good that we answer. We cannot really do anything here.
So like here, like what do I do with the wave? Do I hard push it? Do I slow build it? Like I don't really know.
Okay, good question. So I think right now is the time where we decide. So let's take a look at the variables on the map here.
Hmm.
Objectives, down. Akali, dead. Fiora, about to die. What do
Yeah.
you think?
I think I would hard push so I could pressure the top tower because I can defend right now.
Perfect. Well done. We arch of this, and then we either make a tempo play to get some camps, or we're gonna place a nice deep blue ward, whatever. But we can harsh of this, perfect, and the enemy has to respond anyway, right? So we give them less
Yeah.
time to respond. We want to play them. We want to make the play ASAP, so we can draw the enemies in as soon as possible.
Mm.
Yep, beautiful. Because look at all these waves they're missing. They're missing wave
Yeah.
after wave after wave. If we would have
Yeah.
slow built this, pretty sure Fiora could have answered.
Would have made it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's happening on bot lane here? What do you think when you see this?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really think anything. I'm just like kind of molding. To be honest, that this guy is playing like this.
I mean, he's not really griefing. Ah, he's fucking griefing, but he's still he's still catching two ults. You know, we can do something
Yeah.
with this.
That's true. Actually, I didn't even consider that they use two ults.
Let's take a look here. So on what kind of tempo are we here? That's really the question. So If Kaisa wouldn't have reset right now,
Yeah.
in my opinion, what we can do is we can
Just
rotate
go top
towards mid
mid or.
lane
Oh, okay.
and siege mid tower.
Mm.
Because these guys just blew their ults.
Right.
But since Kai'Sa's resetting, I also think it's good that we reset. I think that's very good. And I also think it's good that we open mid here. That's very nice. And we had two bot. This is very good League of Legends. Right now, gotta ask yourself this question once again. What do you think?
Um, well, Gragas is dead. He's gonna go match top. Fior's gonna push top. I'm
Yep.
gonna catch his bot wave. There's no objectives up. So I think I should slow build this unless I see something happening mid. That's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. We want this guy to back ASAP, so he can be
Yeah.
on tempo together with this guy. We are off tempo right now as a team, so we want to get on tempo. How do we get on tempo? Making sure that everyone is ready to do something and we play on waves.
Yeah.
So in this case, I would like slow build this one.
Hmm.
We know that Vi and Akali have no ult, so there's not really
Yeah.
any major threat on mid lane nor
Hmm.
on us on the side lane. So I think we're free to just slow build this one and be happy.
Yeah.
And then we could have actually played on this wave coming in right now. If we slow build,
Yeah.
we play on this wave. Then this Rakan is coming from base. We can then rotate towards mid, and someone then has to answer fat ass wave on bot lane. I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
can siege out mid tower.
Right.
Really well done. Like we're gapping this guy so hard in the micro department, right? But this is really good stuff. So this is a tricky decision here.
Yeah. I was hard debating. I could go bot, push tier two, or go mid and push mid, or I could go defend top.
Fuck. Yeah, unlucky. Let's go back. Could we have done so? I don't think we could have done jack shit here.
Yeah, I don't have ult or Gale Force.
I mean, theoretically, right, instead of killing this guy on the side, if we move mid right here,
Hmm.
maybe that could have been actually difference maker, like killing Vi, or maybe could have killed Jin. No, Jin probably
Right.
not, but Vi when he goes onto Kaiser, we could get mid tower instead of this kill. But it's like it's a trade-off in a way, and I think it's good that we look for these kind of opportunities. Is it the best play? I'm not sure. Um, it's just really hard to calculate that, right? Because we cannot expect what happens here.
Yeah.
So I don't think this one's too important. I think this one was your team just fucking up. Okay, we get mid tower. Great stuff. Nash is up. Drake is up in 40 seconds. All right. What are we gonna do, man?
Well, I think I should fast push just because my team is all on the map right now.
Correct. And what are we gonna do with the little tempo that we get?
Go mid probably,
Go mid
or,
and
and sync up with my jungler.
get some vision. I agree. I think we just hard shove this and insta move. Just because Vi can engage. Team is on the map on tempo, so we can do this.
Hmm.
Unless unless we're playing for Dragon.
Hmm. Then
If
it'd be better to still build it.
yes, because instead of Akali catching the wave right now, right here, she catches it in 30 seconds at this spot,
Yeah.
which is exactly when the dragon spawns.
Isn't it
Thing is, I don't know.
isn't it risky that your team gets engaged
Oh yeah,
via Kali they see Yone slow building bot and they like Akali goes mid with everyone just engages Kaisa
yes, it
like
is.
this is what I would do as a Kali like if I was a Kali like in this state like fucking 20 minutes this third Drake I wouldn't give a fuck about like side I would just fight if Yone is bot.
It is right, and hence is why I'm. In first instance, I don't think it's a bad play to insta shove and move right here.
It's like
It's not
I
bad.
think it's like you're trading your security of your teammates for a objectively better play. You know, like you would push, I'd fast push because I don't trust my teammates, right? But if I
Yes,
have faith that they would not randomly die, then it's better to slow build it.
Yeah, because
correct.
you're like 7-0 and like you're so strong like
Well, that's how I was feeling in the game. I was like, if I'm not in I don't trust my team because my team hasn't been playing
Yes,
that well, to be honest. So I'm like, if I'm not at every fight, I think we'll just lose again.
yeah.
and that's true. That's definitely true. So this one is a bit iffy, especially because we don't have too much vision around here. The thing is, right? If we are objectively looking at this situation, right? Yes, Fi has a lot of hard engage. Yes, they can pick for sure. So far, it hasn't happened this game though, and we got the security of
Yeah,
mid tier one.
that's true.
So I think in this specific case, we can do it. If we had no mid tier one, we couldn't have done it.
Yeah, I
If
do like the slow build a bit more here,
yeah,
personally as well.
and I also think that if we are like playing 300 LP lower, like literally 300 LP lower, fast pushing and moving is the best play.
Yeah, and so that's the thing because for a while I was playing 300 LP lower like in the GM, right?
Yes.
And so I'm fast pushing every wave always worked, but then when I was in the challenger, fast pushing every wave just well, I didn't realize that it hasn't been working until you like pointed it out now, and
Mm-hmm.
now I realize how much better it is to actually think about which one I want to do.
Yeah, I mean it's like planning your moves, right?
Yeah,
Planning your steps ahead. When do we want to make a play? That's the
right.
thing. And that
And
also,
it's really fucking hard because even just reviewing, I'm not even in the game right now, and it takes me a
yes,
little bit to think about what I need, what I want to do.
this is something that you cannot learn in half a year. You cannot learn it. It's
Yeah, it's gonna
months
take
and
fucking forever.
months and months.
Yeah,
And every single time in game, you gotta ask yourself the question, and every single time you're gonna fuck up, and every single time we're gonna review it, and we're just gonna learn and learn and learn.
yeah.
Can I ask a question, Tim?
Of course, Connor.
Um, what is the value of possibly trading sides here, since it's only the first strike for the enemy, and getting top turret, maybe diving Fiora instead of going for bot wave?
Good point. I think in this case, Dragon is our win condition.
Hmm.
I think we have to force grouped fights because enemy team has Akali and Fiora, who has both very good side laning. So we cannot win the game through side lane. Even if we get four, let's take even if we go 11-0, right? We cannot safely and securely win the game through side lane alone in this game. So
That's the only time you want to trade sides is when you can win the game through side laning.
when that gold that you gain is effectively gonna play towards your win condition.
And or you don't want a team fight as well. Like if you're a
Exactly.
combo's bad at team fighting, you want to avoid a fight at dragon. But this game, I don't want to avoid a fight.
Exactly.
Is this so valuable though? Everyone says that this is just useless dog shit worthless soul. But is this true? Like the Chem Tank one or whatever?
It's well, the soul's okay, but it's also pressuring for Elder, right? Elder will respond faster, and we can maybe force them to fight.
That's
If
the
Because
they
main
just
goal.
give it, then we just get it for free.
Exactly.
because when I see this, I'm like enemy's gonna panic and gonna like try everything to get this Drake. You just fuck Drake. You take Nash and we're good. Cause like Elder is fucking. I feel like Elder is fucking flip. Like every time there's an Elder and especially in this game state, it's gonna be fucking flip. Like if you get it. Whereas like if you get what if you get Nash here? Like they just all go Drake. You get full control on Nash. Get the Nash. What are they gonna do? Like Gragas can match Fiora and you see
Well, I
also
mean,
my
I don't
point.
think they're gonna panic for dragon at this
No.
level if they see us not
Okay.
on dragon, dude. They're
Okay.
just
Okay.
gonna go to Baron.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
So
okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Good point.
I see where you're coming from, and I think it works if this game state is like 12 and 7 instead of 12 and 13. Right? If we are slightly ahead, we can do something like that. But since we're not ahead, it's risky because they are never in a position where these guys are gonna really feel pressured to do anything, um, because they're
Mm.
ahead.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, there's the Baron debuff. So if you start the Nash like at 20 minutes, you're just gonna get completely destroyed if they engage onto you anyway.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a bad call actually. That's true. That's true.
What did we do? Because if we walk mid, we hover around and about a little bit, standing still. I think it's good that we don't turn back bot now, because if we turn back bot, it's
Yeah.
it's it's fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so illegal how this Gragas moved to mid lane. I can't comprehend it.
Yeah, this guy, dude, this guy, I was like balding internally at this guy. Like he's been playing bad the entire game.
Like, how do you walk through this bush?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Should he be like matching Fiora at the moment,
No,
or coming safely to Dragon because he has TP? Yeah. What do you think?
I think his rotation is really good because we got dragon and we want to fight for the dragon. I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah, I
calls
think he
being made.
should group a dragon then TP top rather than the other way
Yeah,
around.
exactly. That's the play.
Mm. Okay.
I actually
Just the way he moved is fucking bad.
like the only thing this guy did wrong. He just forgot that he was weak side and he didn't take the weak side route. That's it.
Yeah.
But the tempo move in general was really good. But yeah, now you're kind of fucked. Okay, let's take a look at this situation. So we get Drake. We're off tempo. At least not us, but our team. No reset, no reset, no reset. We have no Rakan ult. We spot these guys on Dragon or on Nash. Oh, what the? I'm like, what the fuck? It was the Gale Force. Nice, actually quite solid. I like the way we fought here. So only thing that I want to discuss here, right, is what do you think about not Eing right here and holding it for the Vi?
Yeah, well, so okay, so I thought Vi was around, so I didn't know where she was. I thought she would be with Bard
Ah,
and was gonna portal over with Bard. So that's why I
ah,
eat early. It's not because I wanted to go for Bard. I wanted to go for Vi, but I have no info where she is.
makes sense.
I thought she was in that brush, that's why I check it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Is there no way we can get out of here?
Team just thing for some reason.
3 for 3 plus Nash. I guess we take that. That's fine. So I think in this situation, right, what do we do? Is I think we. Well, what do you think actually? Where
Maybe
do we
just go
open up?
mid.
We go mid.
Just to defend. Well, because it's kind of hindsight though, because if you are Empire, just keep pushing the wave mid. Yeah, I don't want to let this T1 mid fall. I think I can hold them 2v1. And my team is dead right now anyway.
I think we send the Kaisa mid and we go top.
Yeah, like objectively, yeah, it's better for Kaiser to be mid, but just in general, I think one person should be mid and one person should be
Yes.
catching top.
Yes. Yeah, tier one is. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate because it increases their engaged threat. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, how do we play this sequence from now? Because we have 3 minutes on Dragon, right? We have Nash. These guys got supers on top, and both outers on both side lanes are still up. What do we do?
Yeah. That's really hard. Um, I think I should just go top.
Mm-hmm.
I just push top because I can kill the super minions really hard, and I think I could actually match the Fiora somewhat.
I agree. And we have Nash. So
Yeah,
trading
and I have
sides
buff
of the
too.
map is really good for us.
Yeah.
Can we just go top?
Yeah.
You think you can?
I think I can be Fiora with these
Okay.
items.
Okay. I think we can
If I
also
can have
beat
my
her.
team hover me, if my
Exactly.
team hovers me, then I think I could push top all the way. And if they're not, then I can just group mid after I push. It's fine too.
Exactly. We need this Talia to over us right now.
Yeah.
So that way we can just pressure the tower, especially if we start killing these waves, right? Because it's and we got Baron, so we are probably gonna stack about 2 waves in the time of us pushing all of these other waves. We can then ask Talia to hover. We can chip down as the stop outer. Then another wave comes stacking in. We have like 2.5 waves, so the enemies have to respond to us, and it's gonna be very hard for them to trade sides of the map.
Yeah.
Yes, and in hindsight, it really makes sense that these guys are playing for bot because
Yeah.
they don't have to play for top here.
Really bad. I got. I knew they were somewhere in this area. I didn't think they were there because I saw Bard was like in the river. So for some reason I was like, oh, they haven't fully rotated yet. But
Yeah,
that was a really bad mistake. Yeah, we way better if Gragas was the one bot, and then I was top doing that play with my team top.
would have been game changing.
Yeah.
We're on the back foot now. This would have been really putting us actually on the front foot.
Yeah.
And why did you go bot? Like, what did you want to do?
Well, because I saw. Well, it's just my default response because all our bot camps trouble. I was like, I'm just gonna farm all the bot camps, and
Hmm.
Kaza was already top, so I was like, I'm not gonna just run top when she's
Yeah,
going
okay.
top right now.
Yeah, yeah, I see. It's hard. Okay, okay.
This really fucks our tempo up. All right, so right now, like the previous play is really bad for us. The fact that we died,
Yeah.
not because we just gave a shutdown, but also because we now are in a bit of a tempo deficit
Yeah.
compared to the enemies. This guy's already on the wave. We are both still on base. Dragon's scoping up in 140.
Hmm.
And the enemies have supers. You have any idea how to approach this?
I mean, well, in the game, what I thought we needed to do is Fiora will probably try to push the super wave really hard, and maybe we can catch her 2v1 with me and
Yes.
Gragas.
I think
That's
I think this is our only shot.
yeah. That's pretty
Otherwise, we're
good.
just gonna lose.
Yeah.
So if we were slightly faster, right, and we could have hit in this bush right here, while
Yeah.
Gragas walks up, I think it works too. By the way,
Yeah. Agreed.
yeah, I really like your idea of going top. Like it sadly doesn't really work out, but I think the idea was really really good. This is really bad what they're doing here. It works. Wait, there's no way Vi went bot lane.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that, I was like, "What is going on?"
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's so illegal, actually.
I saw that and I was laughing to myself in the game. I was like, "What the fuck is their jungler doing bot?" Especially Vi, top champion.
What if she's in here? You just lose the game.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Anything else you want to look at here, Ajax?
No, not really, because at this point, I think we end up winning. We get Soul, and we have him now.
Very good. So there's one way that I'd like you to approach these situations, right? When we're really talking about tempo and about making proactive plays, because to win the game in high elo, you cannot be reactive. I mean, it works in like 30% of the games, but we
Yeah,
need to win more than those, right?
yeah.
We got to be
That's my problem.
proactive.
Yeah.
We got to be understanding where we can find the windows to beat the enemies.
Mhm.
So the way I want you to approach these situations, like we just reviewed, right? I want
Yeah.
you to ask yourself the question, and I want you to ask yourself multiple questions. First of all, what? Where?
Mhm.
When? Why?
Yeah.
How? These questions is what you have to ask yourself at every single wave in the review if you want to start understanding it slowly and surely.
Mhm.
We're going to look at all the information available in the game, and we're going to be making a plan of what's the most optimal game plan considering the information that the game can give us.
Mhm.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard. Do you have any questions about this?
No, it makes sense to the review, and then in the game, do I even ask myself anything, or do I just do it?
I mean, that's a good question. So in the game, we got to think very quickly, right?
Yeah,
So every
exactly.
single time that we come to a wave like this, when we come to the wave in the silent, when we are about to answer, we can quickly ask ourselves the question, when? When? Like when we look at the map
Yeah.
right now, when do we need to pry? Okay, Fiora's gonna die, Akali's gonna die. We need to be quick right here.
Mhm.
That's what I try to do myself in my competitive games at least. Um, in this situation, when? Right? What do we want to do with this wave? Slow or hard push? The thing is,
Mhm.
if we slow build, we can always adapt really quick. If we hard push, we cannot change it anymore.
Right. That makes sense.
So
And
you
so
should.
it's
Sorry.
almost always better to at least wait, so I have time to think and assess, and then if I need the hard shove, hard
Yes,
shove.
exactly. Unless there's a clear sign that we want to hard shove,
Yeah.
I can take it slow. And another thing that can be like if we're extra scared of Vi or Zac or whatever champion jumping in on your team, right? We gotta
Yeah.
be assessing the information and the patterns of the game.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it, man.
That makes sense. And I think this will help my mid game a lot. Like
Yeah,
figuring this out. Obviously, it's gonna take a long time, but like knowing what I need to direct my attention to.
yeah, because your micro is not the problem at all. Your
Yeah.
skirmishing and your understanding of how to play your champion in the fights, not the problem. Your lane, not the problem, right? But you noticed it yourself already. So,
Yeah.
and there's some more stuff to this, by the way. This is not
Mhm.
only it. So there's some more tricks with tempo, some more tricks with waves, what we can do. Um, so I recommend you give this a shot and see how this already like works for you in the next coming weeks. And I think it's good to like do more of these sessions where we
Yeah.
can actually talk about this and update your reference point time
Right.
by time, and just discussing it with other high-low players like Curtis or anyone else here in the MLA that's really good and really understands the game
Yeah.
already opens your mind because you see different angles, you see
Yeah.
different
Exactly. Just you
possibilities.
telling me this is already gonna change. I think how I play
Yes,
a lot.
yes, it's just gonna change your view.
Yeah. It makes sense because the thing is this makes sense because I learned this for lanes as well, like somewhat,
Yeah,
like the slow push versus fast push. So I can also like apply it out of the lane too. I just never even thought
yeah,
about it like that at all.
yeah, exactly. It's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, and the mid game and late game is really complicated, so I'm not expecting myself to understand it or get it down. Like I think there'll be games where I make a mistake and I'm not to fight fast enough,
Uh huh.
or games like this where it's the other way around where I'm just sitting AFK not doing anything.
Yep,
So
exactly.
just gotta
And
spot the patterns.
over time, it's gonna get a bit more clean, a bit more
Right.
streamlined. We're gonna see both sides of the spectrum. We're gonna see our team get engaged on perma while we are on the
Yeah.
side lane slow building waves, and we're like, fuck, what am I doing here? But we're also gonna be standing AFK in this bush for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We're gonna have both sides of the spectrum, and we're gonna experience it both, and slowly we're gonna build our reference point, right?
And so, does this apply for every champion I play,
It
or is
does.
it? So like, let's say, because I also play Victor too. Like, if I'm playing Victor,
Yes.
let's just pretend I'm a 6-0 Victor this
Yes.
game. Like, it would be very similar in terms
It's
of what I'm thinking about. What
it's
I need to
even
do.
more important on Victor, by the way,
Yeah.
because
Right.
because when we're playing Victor, we're also talking about safety in the side lane.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
playing about exact times that we want to be at certain objectives, because if we're not first, we're just gonna struggle.
Can't enter the fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I've been struggling so much with Victor in super high elo games.
If it's not the lane and it's the mid
It's not
game,
the lane.
most
Yeah.
likely if we're auto pushing every wave, we're gonna struggle. Yes.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I want to end this with a what I experienced last split, right? I played last split in the NLC Division 2. And what I really recognized in those games is I did not fully understand this concept as well at that point. And I was just hard shoving sides every single time. And we were playing against teams that were slow building, that were playing these sides
Yeah.
effectively, right? Even if we got Baron, right, when we just dominated the enemy in the early game, we were like 10 kills up, like 5k
Yeah.
gold up, we still could not win the game because our tempo was just so fucked.
Right. Like, you're like creating like fake tempo because you push and you have like
Yes.
2 seconds to do something.
Exactly. So the only way you win games at that point is if the enemy makes mistakes. But if the enemy
Yeah.
stop making mistakes, that's when you cannot win anymore because you're not utilizing your tempo enough, and then you
Dude,
just
it
get
makes so
outskilled.
much sense why I struggle so much in high elo games and mid game now. That
Yeah.
actually makes so much sense. Like, why I can't make any like because I can feel it, right? My intuition is good enough at this point where I can feel when I'm not being proactive at all, even with a lead. Because I still get leads pretty often, but then I'm like just like just like this game, like just sitting AFK, not doing anything, waiting for some the enemy team to fuck up. Like that
Yeah.
Fiora play where Vi's bot. The reason why we won is because they just fucked up.
They fucked up. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the higher you
That
go,
makes
the
so
less
much
fucks
sense.
ups there's going to be.
Yeah.
All right, man. Any more questions, Ajax?
No, thanks a lot. Like this alone, I think will point me in the right direction, and I'll give it like at least like a month of practice, and then I'll get back to you, or like a few weeks.
For
So
sure.
I feel like I understand it better,
Yeah.
and maybe we can do another review.